blood soaked through white silk, dripping onto polished teak floors. A honeymoon villa in Bali transformed into a crime scene. Resort security rushed in at 2:23 a.m. to find Ariana Blackwood holding her husband's dying body, her nightgown stained crimson against the backdrop of paradise. Just hours earlier, Mitchell Crane discovered the woman he married wasn't Ariana Blackwood from Portland. She was Vanessa Kendrick, an international fugitive who had evaded Australian authorities for years after orchestrating a multi-million-dollar fraud scheme. What if the person sharing your bed is living a complete lie? Their wedding photos showcased radiant smiles and champagne toasts. Their social media displayed intimate beachside dinners and sunset temple visits. Their luxury villa featured panoramic ocean views and private infinity pools. Yet beneath this facade of marital bliss lay calculated deception, ending in bloodshed. How well do you really know the people closest to you? Mitchell's whirlwind romance lasted 6 months from first meeting to marriage. His friends voiced concerns. He dismissed them. "When you know," he said, words that became his epitaph. An anonymous email shattered everything. Links to newspaper articles, a familiar face with a different name, a criminal past expertly concealed. By midnight, confrontation. By dawn, death. Investigators later uncovered Ariana had researched Mitchell for months before their chance meeting at a charity gala. She'd studied his preferences, crafted her persona accordingly, and targeted him specifically for his wealth. The tropical honeymoon was meant to be just the beginning of her elaborate financial extraction. Instead, it became her undoing. This isn't merely a murder story. It's a warning about identity in the digital age, where charismatic predators craft convincing disguises to exploit trust. Subscribe now for more revelations that expose the dark side of trust, insights that could prevent you from falling victim to similar deceptions hiding in plain sight. Mitchell Crane embodied success in its most recognizable form. At 38, the Connecticut-born investment banker had climbed to senior partner at his Manhattan firm, managing portfolios worth billions. Colleagues described him as methodical, intelligent, and cautious, qualities that made his rapid romance with Ariana Blackwood so unexpected. Mitchell analyzed everything twice before making decisions, his college roommate told investigators, except when it came to her. Ariana appeared in Mitchell's life at the Wintergreen Foundation Gala, a charity event supporting arts education. Witnesses recalled her entrance, emerald silk dress, confident stride, magnetic presence. She approached Mitchell directly, commenting on his donation speech with insights that suggested deep financial knowledge. By midnight, they exchanged numbers. By morning, breakfast plans materialized. Her background impressed him. 32 years old, Portland native, former owner of a successful interior design business she'd sold for significant profit before moving east. Her apartment featured tasteful art, rare first-edition books, and photographs from travels across 6 continents. Her conversational knowledge spanned wine regions, investment strategies, and obscure historical facts. She knew exactly what to say, Mitchell's sister later observed. Every interest he mentioned, she either shared or wanted to learn about. Their engagement came 5 months after meeting. The wedding followed weeks later, an elegant affair at the Crane family estate. 60 guests witnessed their vows beneath century-old oak trees, followed by dinner, served on heirloom china. Ariana charmed Mitchell's family with thoughtful gestures and personal connections to each relative. Not everyone celebrated unconditionally. 3 close friends expressed concerns about the accelerated timeline. Mitchell's brother questioned how little they knew about Ariana's family, all allegedly deceased or traveling internationally during the ceremony. His college roommate noted odd inconsistencies in her stories about Portland. "Give me time," Mitchell told them all. "When you know, you know." What intrigued many about Ariana was her selective privacy. She shared abundant details about certain life aspects while keeping others mysteriously guarded. She could discuss Indonesian batik techniques in depth, yet deflect questions about childhood friends. She demonstrated fluency in social settings, yet maintained few close relationships. She made everyone feel intimately connected while revealing little substance. This calculated balance between openness and mystery would later be recognized as her signature technique, the perfect formula for creating trust while hiding truth. The Kayana Villas stood isolated on Bali's southwestern coast, where the Indian Ocean crashed against volcanic cliffs. Mitchell selected their honeymoon location meticulously, a private sanctuary with its own infinity pool, personal butler service, and uninterrupted ocean views. Glass walls retracted completely, transforming indoor spaces into open-air pavilions where tropical breezes carried jasmine scents through gauzy curtains. I wanted somewhere nobody could find us, Mitchell texted his brother upon arrival. The location delivered. Their villa sat nestled within lush gardens, separated from neighboring accommodations by thick foliage and stone walls. For 7 days, their social media documented perfect newlywed contentment. Breakfast arrived on floating trays in their private pool. They received couples massages in a pavilion overlooking rice terraces. They explored ancient temples, swam with manta rays, and dined barefoot on beaches illuminated by lanterns. Resort staff noted how the couple remained physically connected, hands touching across dinner tables, shoulders pressed together during sunset cocktails. Mitchell appeared completely enthralled, watching Ariana with constant admiration. The way he looked at her, one server recalled, like she held every answer he sought. Ariana's comfort in Indonesia raised no initial concerns for Mitchell. He found it charming when she conversed with staff in basic Bahasa phrases. He admired how she navigated local customs, explaining proper temple etiquette and traditional ceremonial meanings. When she guided him through a remote market, selecting spices while negotiating prices with vendors, he proudly recorded her expertise. "My wife knows more about Indonesian culture than our guide," he boasted to fellow travelers. What Mitchell didn't question was how a Portland interior designer had acquired such specific regional knowledge. He didn't wonder why she directed their driver down unmarked roads leading to hidden waterfalls tourists never visit. He never asked how she recognized a local batik pattern as specific to a particular village. Paradise is often where our guard is lowest. The serenity of swaying palms and turquoise waters creates perfect conditions for overlooking discrepancies. The relaxation of vacation mode diminishes critical thinking. The isolation of luxury resorts removes protective social networks. On their 8th morning in Bali, Mitchell checked his phone as Ariana scheduled a spa appointment. His inbox contained the usual work updates, family messages, and an email from an unfamiliar address, truth.finder87@protonmail.com. The subject line read plainly, "Who is Ariana Blackwood?" Mitchell hovered over the delete button, assuming spam. Yet something, instinct perhaps, made him save it for later. That afternoon, as Ariana enjoyed her 3-hour Balinese massage ritual, Mitchell opened the email poolside. The message contained only a brief line, "Your wife isn't who she claims to be. See attached links." Below followed 12 hyperlinks to Australian news outlets. The first link led to the Brisbane Times, dated March 2008. The headline read, "Investment Scheme Mastermind Flees as Victims Lose Millions." Mitchell clicked through to a photograph showing a woman with auburn hair and distinctive emerald eyes identical to Ariana's. The caption identified her as Vanessa Kendrick, 26, wanted for questioning regarding a sophisticated investment fraud targeting wealthy Brisbane professionals. The second article detailed how Vanessa Kendrick had established elite investment partners, promising exclusive access to overseas development opportunities. 38 victims had invested amounts ranging from $50,000 to $400,000. The total reached $4.2 million before accounts emptied overnight. Mitchell's hands trembled as he opened subsequent links. Court documents, victim statements, police bulletins, international warrants. The evidence accumulated. Vanessa Kendrick had vanished completely in 2008, evading Australian authorities despite global alerts. He enlarged photographs, comparing them to wedding pictures on his phone. The resemblance proved undeniable despite subtle differences. Ariana's nose appeared slightly narrower, her hair lighter and shorter, her jawline more defined. Small modifications that collectively created a new identity. Mitchell researched Vanessa Kendrick Australia fraud and found additional articles. Former associates described her as brilliantly manipulative and capable of becoming whoever she needed to be. One victim stated, "She studied everything about me, my interests, desires, weaknesses, then reflected exactly what I wanted to see." His mind raced through memories. Ariana's limited contact with childhood friends, her convenient lack of family, her reluctance toward photographs, her detailed knowledge of international finance despite her design background. He recalled her perfect answers to questions he hadn't yet asked, as if anticipating his thoughts. Mitchell downloaded and saved everything, transferring files to secure cloud storage. He ordered another drink, hands shaking too severely to hold the glass properly. The paradise surrounding him, azure waters, gentle breeze, tropical blooms, suddenly felt hollow. What would you do if you discovered your spouse was a wanted criminal? If every shared moment, every intimate confession, every promise potentially formed part of an elaborate deception? If the person who knew your deepest secrets remained fundamentally unknown to you? Ariana returned from her spa treatment at 7:13 p.m., her hair still damp, skin glowing with aromatic oils. She found Mitchell seated on their villa's terrace, laptop open, expression unreadable. A half-empty whiskey glass sat beside him, unusual as he rarely drank hard liquor. "You should try the traditional Balinese massage," she said, moving to kiss him, "the technique they use for—" "Who is Vanessa Kendrick?" Mitchell interrupted, voice steady. Ariana froze momentarily before laughing. "I don't know any Vanessa. Is she staying at the resort?" Mitchell turned his laptop screen toward her. The Brisbane Times article filled the display, Vanessa's photograph prominently featured. "You look remarkably alike." Ariana examined the screen, maintaining composed features. "That's strange. We share some similarities, but many women have green eyes and similar bone structure." "The resemblance goes beyond coincidence," Mitchell replied, clicking through to additional articles. Vanessa Kendrick disappeared in 2008 after stealing millions from investors. She vanished completely, until now. "This is absurd," Ariana replied, voice rising slightly. "Some anonymous email accuses me of being a criminal, and you believe it? This could be anyone targeting us, jealous colleagues, perhaps an ex." Mitchell displayed side-by-side images, Vanessa's driver's license photo beside their wedding portrait. Same scar above your right eyebrow, same asymmetrical smile, same unique freckle pattern across your cheekbones. For 43 minutes, Ariana maintained her denial. She suggested photo manipulation, mistaken identity, even an elaborate setup by competitors seeking to damage Mitchell's reputation. Her explanations grew increasingly complex until Mitchell revealed the final piece of evidence. Birth records showing Ariana Blackwood from Portland had died at age 3, decades earlier. The villa fell silent except for gentle waves against the shore below. "You never existed," Mitchell whispered. Ariana's posture changed subtly. Her shoulders straightened. Her expression shifted from indignation to calculation. When she spoke again, traces of an Australian accent colored her words. "You weren't supposed to find out," she said simply. She admitted everything over the next hour. The investment scheme. Her escape using falsified documents. Minor cosmetic procedures altering key facial features. Speech therapy eliminating her accent. Years spent constructing Ariana Blackwood's identity, complete with fabricated business records and paid acquaintances serving as references. "Everything between us is real," she insisted, reaching for his hand. "I may have approached you strategically, but my feelings developed genuinely." Mitchell pulled away. "Which feelings? The ones where you researched my net worth before our chance meeting, or when you practiced your backstory for months before the gala?" He stood, moving toward their bedroom. "I'm booking flights back tomorrow. Upon landing, I'm contacting authorities." "Mitchell, please," she followed him. "People change. Vanessa made terrible mistakes, but Ariana, the woman you married, she's real now." "Neither of them ever existed," he replied, pulling out his suitcase. "You manufactured both." He turned to face her, eyes hollow with devastation. "Our marriage is over. Tomorrow we return, and I'll seek an annulment based on fraud." Like this video if you've ever experienced trust completely shattered, that precise moment when you realize everything you believed was built on deception. The foundation crumbles, leaving nothing solid beneath your feet. Indonesian investigators partnered with international agencies to examine Ariana's digital footprint following Mitchell's murder. What they discovered revealed methodical preparation extending far beyond a typical romance. Forensic analysis of her laptop revealed folders organized by wealthy men's names. Mitchell's folder contained over 700 files accumulated during the 6 months prior to their chance meeting. Screenshots of his social media posts dating back 5 years. Financial statements obtained through unauthorized access to his accounts. Photographs taken outside his apartment and office. Notes about his daily routines, favorite restaurants, and regular contacts. She created a comprehensive profile of his preferences, explained lead investigator Kai Nugroho. She knew his favorite wine varietals, political leanings, vacation destinations, and weekend habits before ever speaking to him. More disturbing were files documenting 2 previous targets. Jonathan Westfield, 42, Boston-based hedge fund manager, whom she dated for 3 months before abruptly ending the relationship when his company faced SEC scrutiny. Robert Callahan, 45, Chicago real estate developer, whom she'd nearly married before abandoning the plan when his assets proved less liquid than anticipated. Mitchell represented the ideal mark, Nugroho noted, substantial liquid assets, minimal family interference, and a documented desire for marriage. Financial investigators discovered Ariana had begun transferring funds within days of their wedding. Small amounts moved between accounts, testing access, establishing patterns, avoiding security alerts. Documents on her devices outlined plans to gradually extract approximately $3.4 million over 18 months before creating a natural dissolution of the marriage. Most calculating were her psychological assessments of Mitchell. Notes detailed his emotional vulnerabilities, insecurities about previous relationships, and desire for intellectual partnership. One document titled Approach Strategy outlined how she would embody his ideal partner based on dating history and social media activity. She identified his preference for confident, culturally sophisticated women with independent careers, psychologist Dr. Alina Marquez explained. Then she manufactured precisely that persona. Among her possessions, investigators found voice recordings practicing American accents, receipts for minor cosmetic procedures altering key facial features, and equipment for creating falsified documents. Hair samples indicated chemical treatments matching her previous target's documented preferences. The digital age makes research easy. Have you ever deeply investigated someone online? Most people leave extensive trails through social media posts, professional profiles, and public records. While most utilize this information innocently, predators like Ariana weaponize these digital breadcrumbs to customize their approach. Ariana's methodology followed a consistent pattern: identify wealthy, relationship-oriented men, research extensively, create perfect persona, accelerate commitment, legally access finances, extract assets gradually, disappear before detection. Mitchell's discovery of her true identity accelerated her timeline, forcing a lethal alternative to her financial scheme. Ariana's trial in Indonesia began January 2015, drawing international media coverage. Prosecutors presented overwhelming forensic evidence contradicting her self-defense claim. Security footage showed her researching ferry schedules to neighboring islands hours before the confrontation. Blood spatter analysis confirmed Mitchell had been attacked from behind while seated at his laptop. Her defense strategy shifted repeatedly, from claiming temporary insanity to suggesting Mitchell had physically threatened her. Each narrative collapsed under evidence and witness testimony. Resort staff described hearing her calmly making tea minutes after security discovered Mitchell's body, showing no signs of defensive injuries. After 14 weeks of proceedings, the three-judge panel delivered their verdict: guilty of premeditated murder. The sentence: 20 years in Indonesia's Kerobokan prison. No punishment restores what we've lost, Mitchell's father stated outside the courthouse, but today acknowledges the calculated nature of his death. Following conviction, Australian authorities immediately filed extradition requests to face charges for the $4.2 million investment fraud once her Indonesian sentence concludes. 17 of her original victims attended the murder trial, seeking closure after 7 years. Seeing her finally face consequences brings partial peace, said former victim Catherine Lennox, though financial recovery remains impossible for most of us. Mitchell's family channeled their grief into prevention work, establishing the Crane Foundation for Fraud Awareness. The organization developed educational programs about sophisticated relationship deception and identity fraud. Their initiatives include university workshops, online resources, and private consultations for individuals with concerns about potential deception. Modern predators don't threaten with weapons initially, they manipulate with precision, explained Mitchell's brother during a foundation launch event. Our goal is teaching recognition of warning signs that Mitchell never had opportunity to see. The Foundation's research identified key indicators: accelerated relationship timelines, limited verifiable history, resistance to meeting established connections, inconsistent personal details, and isolation from protective social networks. If this story resonated with you, comment below with your thoughts on how we can protect ourselves from deception. What verification steps do you take before establishing trust? Which warning signs might you have previously overlooked? Your experiences could help others recognize dangerous patterns before devastating consequences unfold. Prison psychologists who evaluated Ariana diagnosed her with antisocial personality disorder combined with elements of narcissistic personality disorder, a dangerous clinical combination. Their reports documented her exceptional cognitive abilities alongside a complete absence of empathy. She displays remarkable intelligence with profound emotional deficits, noted Dr. Maya Ruiz, lead forensic psychologist. Her brain processes others not as people, but as resources to utilize. Most revealing was Ariana's compartmentalization capacity. During evaluations, she discussed Mitchell's murder with clinical detachment while exhibiting genuine emotion when describing the villa's interior design. She separated her actions from their consequences through elaborate justification systems. In her perception, she creates alternative realities rather than lies, Dr. Ruiz explained. Each identity, Vanessa, Ariana, exists as a complete entity with its own narrative, not a deception, but a parallel truth. This psychological mechanism allowed her to pass polygraph tests during preliminary hearings. She believed her own constructed realities while speaking them, temporarily suspending awareness of contradicting facts. What makes her dangerous isn't just her capacity for deception, but her authentic immersion within each deception. Another evaluator noted, she becomes the person she pretends to be. Journal entries discovered in her luggage revealed her methodical approach. One entry read, M responds to intellectual connection more than physical. Reference obscure financial theories tomorrow. Another stated, he seeks validation for business acumen. Praise specific deal from March. Most chilling was an entry written 3 days before the murder. The foundation is cracking. I may need to accelerate plans. Paradise can't last forever. Her prison behavior further highlights psychological complexity. She maintains perfect conduct records, teaches English classes to fellow inmates, and mentors younger prisoners. Guards describe her as model, while psychologists identify these actions as calculated reputation management. What creates someone capable of such calculated deception? Is it genetic predisposition, childhood trauma, or learned adaptation? Current research suggests a combination: neurological differences affecting empathy centers, early formative experiences teaching manipulation as survival, and progressive success reinforcing predatory behaviors. Today, Ariana serves her sentence in Carabocan prison, where guards report exemplary behavior. She leads meditation groups, teaches language classes, and counsels new inmates. Prison officials highlight her as a rehabilitation success story. Psychologists remain skeptical. Her adaptability makes her perform reformation convincingly, notes Dr. Ruiz. Whether genuine change has occurred remains questionable. The case permanently altered how authorities approach identity fraud investigations. International agencies establish new protocols for tracking financial predators across borders. Dating platforms implemented verification systems. The legal precedent strengthened fraud-based annulment proceedings worldwide. For everyday protection, experts recommend concrete verification steps before deep emotional or financial commitment. 1. Verify employment and education claims through official channels. 2. Meet multiple friends and family members in person. 3. Visit childhood locations that can confirm personal history. 4. Check public records for name changes and legal proceedings. 5. Notice resistance to digital footprints or excessive privacy concerns. 6. Beware relationships that progress unnaturally quickly. 7. Trust instincts when stories contain inconsistencies. Most critical, maintain independent social connections. Isolation removes protective feedback from those who might recognize warning signals you miss. Mitchell's tragedy teaches that intelligence provides no immunity against sophisticated emotional manipulation. His analytical mind, so effective in finance, failed to apply the same scrutiny to his romantic life until too late. Healthy skepticism isn't cynicism, advises Mitchell's brother. It's self-protection in a world where not everyone operates with integrity. For more stories exploring human capacity for deception, subscribe, like, and share this video. Understanding these cases might help you recognize red flags before they transform into genuine danger.